Well, my wheels came in. I'm pretty excited about this. I've had pit bikes before, and they usually have the 14 and 12-inch wheels, which is cool, but I kind of want something bigger, and these 17 and 14s will be, to me, about the perfect size, because you don't have a big bike, but you don't have a small bike either. Of course, it's still small, but it's better to go in trails over big bumps and other stuff, I think, with these bigger wheel size. What I did was you have to use an Allen wrench, but to install these I put some Loctite around the threads, and that will help keep those in better. But I'm going to reuse the sprocket from the rear wheel from my existing wheel and get these installed before long. But there's been a lot of talk on forums and just among SSR owners if you can fit these wheels on a stock base model SSR 125, and through some research I figured out you could. And the swing arm, you can tell, has quite a bit of space right here, so you're not adding that much, really an inch on both sides, so I figured it would work. And the forks have enough room up here, so I want to get to installing it. I'm going to get the seat height so we can tell what the difference is when it changes to the bigger wheels. And I did realize I'm going to have to buy a bigger kickstand because you're adding some height, so I'm going with a 15-inch kickstand. I've had it ordered. I don't have it with me yet, but this is a 12-inch, which would come with them, so 15 should work perfectly. So I'm going to get started. Seat height with the stock wheels is right at 31.5 or so, give or take, and I'm curious to see how much different this will be with the bigger wheels on it. I got the rear wheel mounted. I had to adjust the chain tension a little bit, which I'll know more when I set it down on the ground to be able to decide how to adjust it. But everything seemed to go on fine. I noticed my old axle bolt was bent, and I don't really do any big jumps, so I'm not sure how that happened, but I'm using the new one that came with the bike and it worked perfect. You can see the clearance here with the 14-inch in the back, so it definitely works and fits that way. Here's the 17, and it has clearance there. You're not going to hit that skid plate, which is what I've heard some people say is a problem. There is, more heft to this bike, so the shocks may be taking more of a beating, but it's crazy how much different this bike looks. I'm going to get the ride height and see how much it's changed. The seat height is now 33.5, so it definitely made it sit up higher. It looks like the height from the skid plate to the ground is right at 13 inches, and I believe it's supposed to be like 10 before. I should have checked it, but I didn't. But it definitely makes it sit up higher, which is obvious that change is going to happen. But I think it looks really cool. I'll get out and ride it and see how it works and if anything feels weird. Took it out for a spin, everything seemed good. I'll be honest, this thing feels like a totally different bike because of the size difference in the wheels. Just you sit up much higher. It feels bulkier, which could be good or bad depending on how you're looking at it. But I have another pit bike that's the smaller, older style that's really tiny, and it's a ton of fun, but I wanted something that's a little bigger, and I think adding these wheels is the best of both worlds. So it's definitely doable and pretty easy swap. You can use your existing rotors and sprocket as long as they all match up to the right dimensions, which most of these Chinese tires and wheels do that. I will post a link to where I got these wheels and get to it if you want to do this project for yourself and transform your SSR 125.